Today's top stories at NBR: fledgling software company to list on the NZX, Rocket Lab fourth quarter revenue, how much is needed for a comfortable retirement, and more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, a wrap of the day's top business stories from the authority in New Zealand business news since 1970, nbr.co.nz. It's Tuesday, November 16th. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks again for joining us. Tatua Cooperative Dairy Company Director Ross Townsend has quit over highly inappropriate social media posting on Facebook about Foreign Affairs and Local Government Minister Nanaia Mahuta. Townsend's departure was confirmed in a statement from Tatua Chair Stephen Allen. On Monday evening, it was brought to my attention that Mr Townsend had posted highly inappropriate messaging on social media in relation to a Minister of Parliament, he said. Mr Townsend's personal views and the way he chose to express them are incompatible with Tatua's culture and values, and there was no other course of action than to accept his resignation on behalf of the Tatua Board of Directors. Allen said he would be contacting the Minister's office to explain and apologise. Fledgling software company TradeWindow is to list on the NZX this month with an indicative valuation of $79 million after raising $15 million from investors in September. The Auckland-based business was founded in December 2018 by Chief Executive AJ Smith and Executive Director Kerry Friend to offer software for integrating the traditional silos in international trade, regulation, finance, logistics and commerce. This is just the start of our journey, said Smith. TradeWindow's market involves dealing with government agencies and large enterprises. Customers to date include Synlait, Open Country Dairy, Sealord, Silverfern Farms, Whittaker's and Panpac Forest Products. Napier Port expects to see increased business over the peak import season as Upper North Island ports become stressed by global container shipping disruption. The NZX-listed port reported profit after tax of $23.2 million for the year ended September 30, up 5.2%, while revenue rose 9% to $109.5 million. Underlying profit after tax, adjusting for non-realised gains, was $22 million, up from $20.5 million in the corresponding period. The port's export focus and low reliance on containerised shipping has insulated it from the full blow of shipping issues. Napier Port Chief Executive Todd Dawson said congestion and shipping delays would pick up leading into the peak Christmas season, particularly for import-heavy ports such as Tauranga and Auckland, an opportunity the port is keen to seize. Rocket Lab is expecting to generate nearly as much revenue in its fourth quarter as it did in the whole first half of the year, but will still come in below initial revenue projections due mainly to New Zealand's recent COVID restrictions. The Nasdaq-listed launch and space systems company gave the market fresh guidance today, showing a revenue expectation of between $23 and $25 million for the fourth quarter. It had previously posted revenue of $35 million for the 2020 year, and prior to its listing had projected revenue of $69 million for the 2021 year. The Q4 guidance means fiscal year 21 revenue is therefore expected to hit just below $80 million at the top end. The Council of Trade Unions is calling on government to raise the minimum wage to $22.75 an hour, the living wage rate. CTU President Richard Wagstaff said essential workers in particular deserved an increase. He said an increase would be a shot in the arm for communities struggling with the impact of COVID, and the living wage would be an appropriate level. Wagstaff said research by economists at Motu shows we can afford to do this, that a minimum wage of $22.75 won't push up unemployment, just as the recent raises over the last few years haven't. The latest retirement expenditure guidelines report shows most people are still not saving enough to be able to enjoy a comfortable retirement. According to the report, a couple living in one of the country's main cities will need at least $809,000 in savings to enjoy what it calls a choices retirement. The same couple, though, would only need $195,000 for a no-frills retirement. Joining NBR's political editor, Brent Edwards, was Finance New Zealand's Katrina Shanks.
So, for example, if you take someone who is in their 50s and they haven't saved anything yet, that $800 is a big chunk. So that $800,000. So $800,000 is based on a couple in Metro and in the choices, which is slightly above the base calculation. So those which have got a few choices in life, but still not a huge amount of choice. So that $800,000, if you break that down to someone who is 50, who hasn't saved anything yet, they will need to save basically $900 in their household a week to achieve this figure.
Finance New Zealand's Katrina Shanks with Brent Edwards there. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Tomorrow at NBR, the battle between Elon Musk and Bernie Sanders, and a new boutique investment bank has launched targeting the underserved $10 to $100 million deal market. I'm Paul Brennan. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow from around lunchtime for the morning's NBR trending stories. Then same time, same place, right here again from 5:30 for another NBR Today.